Okay, I'm down on Yogo's beach, Yogo and Hilda's beach. It's basically the next bay along from the Golden Beach at the hot springs. It's the next bay. Behind those rocks there is the start of the Golden Beach from the east end of the Golden Beach. So when this boat came in, I was on the other side there, running for this boat. I see it coming with the rope and everything. And then another white boat came in, a big one, roughly the size of this one, I think, but a newer version boat. It wasn't as old as this one. So I stayed there and waited for that one to come in, and I knew there was people round here. So, and they brought this one in. So I thought I'd come down. I'm with Athena today. Athena's, she's down there photographing. She's compiling a list of boats and photographing a list of boats that has come in on the shores here. Yeah, great person. So I thought I'd bring her down here and we film this one. So last few days I've been sorting out the maps for everyone working out here. We've been sorting those out the last few days, and I've been down to Moria. Moria is a lot better than it was, definitely. So that's what I've been doing the last few days. There's been it's really died a death here. There is boats coming in. We had one this morning, but the EU, you know, with all the things it's doing with Turkey and that, and Turkey is really abusing the people on the other side and stopping the boats coming. But what it's done really, it's stopped here to a certain, not stopped. Yesterday I think we had 4 or 5 boats, but a few days ago we had these come in, 3 big boats like this came in, with roughly around 500 people on all 3. This one was 220 on this, I was told. A beautiful boat. But what's happening now, they're coming in Mytilene, at the bottom of the island. We've had a lot of boats coming in. So the Spanish lifeguards have sent a team down there. We've got people from a drop in the ocean down there, and there's other people going down to help out there in the night. This morning I sent a load of emergency blankets down for them down there. So, you know, it's just swung round to the bottom. On the other side here, the Turkish Coast Guard's out there, and they're abusing people and, you know, taking them back into Turkey. Some are getting through. When the sea changes and it gets a bit rougher and the Coast Guards are not there, or the Coast Guards go down the bottom end, then they're going to come through this end. This is a lovely boat here. Yeah. We've had a few things go on the last few days. We had one incident I've been hearing about this morning, that something happened over at the lighthouse in Choinia. It's something to do with a Greek photographer putting his camera inside a tent where wet women were getting changed. You know, we've had a few problems along this line. I'll check into this a bit more, but all hell broke loose. Obviously, you know, you don't want photographers photographing women getting changed in tents because they're soaking wet and cold and frightened. This will have to stop. We've had a lot of problems with some photographers here, and we are compiling a file, and we've got some amazing photographs on these people. You know, I've said before, you know, our relationship with the press is absolutely fantastic. You know, we've got many friends now, and many of the reporters and photographers from around the world have been here, and they've helped us. They've helped us big time. It's you know, there's so many of them have been in the water rescuing and helping children and women and everything else. But we have this few, you know, you have the paparazzi, and believe me, these guys are bloody vicious. They're awful people. They're trying to set up photographs and everything. And this is wrong. This should never happen. You know, there's enough things going on out here every day without people trying to set their photographs up so they can make money. We have one group here. I mean, as I said, most of the people here have been fantastic. Most of the people have helped us, but we had this small little group of very abusive cameraman, and they've been behaving themselves just lately, but something happened yesterday with one of them, and he stuck his camera into a tent of women changing or something. This has to stop. This has to stop. This is very, very wrong. Very wrong. Anyway, we'll sort out this one. I'm going to ask a few more questions about this and see who this photographer was and everything else, because he was totally out of order. And we'll see what we can do about this. We can't have incidents like this. This is wrong. Anyway, I was told everyone on this boat got off safely. It is a beautiful boat. It looks like a steel hull one. It's not. And we've got quite a few down at the lighthouse in Molivos. I have to go down there and film. And on Petra Beach, I have to go and film those as well. Oh, on Molivos Beach, sorry. There's a group of them down there. This is Athena. Yes. She's been helping me with the maps and stuff the last few days, running me around and everything else. We had one of our cats run over and he's in the vet, so Philip has needed the car. So, and the cat's, well, they've had him in there for 4 days now, but they say he's okay. They've had to put his jaw together and that, and we do our best to, for this one. Yeah, so a few things have happened as well. I mean, I've been told the British are bombing in Serbia now. I don't agree with bombing. I really don't agree with bombing. It's killing too many innocent people. And they say they're not going to kill innocent people. Of course you're going to kill innocent people. This happens all the time in every bloody situation like this. A lot of innocent people die. And bombing is not the solution. You've got to stop the finances going into ISIL. And this will only be done through the Secret Service, of all the secret services around the world, to join together and find out these people and how they're getting their finances. And if it is other governments giving their finances and things, then it should be made public. Because I've heard different stories, but you hear a lot of stories from one thing and another. But bombing, especially built up areas and stuff, you're bound to have people in there, innocent people dying, bound to have. And not only that, it's going to push more and more people out of the country and put the pressure on here. Turkey's been paid to hold and abuse these people and hold them back. They say they're going to build all these beautiful camps and everything else. But the Syrians don't want to live in a tent in freezing cold and everything else. And some of the stories I hear coming out is just horrific. And for the EU to pay a government to do this is wrong, absolutely wrong. I said many times we have to solve the problem at its source, and we're not going to solve it through bombing and paying governments and things like this to have a go at these people. The EU and that should be bloody ashamed of themselves, really ashamed. We're meant to be a civilised bloody, civilised Europe. And what they've done here, what I've seen over the months and what they've done here is literally absolutely nothing. And the inhumanity of the European Parliament and everything else, and what they're doing is so wrong, it's unbelievable. I've stated time and time again, these are war refugees. They are meant to be protected by the Geneva Convention. They should get clothing, health, shelter, medical, and they haven't got any of that here. The only people trying to do that for him here are volunteers, people with big hearts. The big aid agencies have started moving a little bit now, but they're not feeding and things like this. We're doing all that up on the north coast here. They're not giving clothes on the north coast. Most of the medical being done up here is done by private individuals. The UNHCR and WAHA, they have a medical team, WAHA. They're fantastic doctors, and they do a bit up here. But most of it at the moment is being run by just volunteer doctors taking time out and coming here and helping. And for the EU, what it's done over the last 10 months here, it's absolutely fucking disgusting. Disgusting. This shouldn't happen. We're civilized human beings, and human beings should be helping human beings, not paying people to abuse human beings. And personally, that's all that's happening here, and some of the things and the decisions being made by the European government and that, and some of the countries going up through Europe is absolutely disgusting. We are human beings, for Christ's sake, and we should show some compassion to people that are being bombed out of their homes, people that are losing their loved ones and everything else. We should show a little bit of compassion and do our best for these people, you know. Instead, you know, they're getting abused and everything else, and it's being paid for by governments, and this is wrong. This is bloody wrong. This has to stop, you know. This is going to go down in history here, and these people making these decisions, you know, you'll go down in history as well for the bloody bad decisions you've made. Yeah. It is, you know, I've seen and heard so much over the last 10, 11 months. It's incredible, absolutely incredible, and it should never happen within Europe. It should never happen outside Europe. But to happen within Europe the way it has, and everything that's happened to these people is very, very wrong, very disgusting. Okay, I have to thank everyone again. Thank you. You know, we're running this right through, as far as the eye can see now. We're going right round by Chonya. We've got people now. From the lighthouse in Molivos, you can't see because the rocks are in the way, but right over there we're running. About 25 kilometres plus. We're going to try and get a rib round in Chonya itself so it can run a bit of the east coast. We have volunteers going down doing the southeast coast, round by the airport, right down the bottom, in the night, and helping the teams here. There's Greek teams down there doing their best, but they're just being overrun, I heard. And the Greek guys, you know, they're working all day because they have to have bills to pay and rent and everything else. And you know, the women and men there helping the boats over the summer. So, you know, they're tired and they do need help down there. So we're going to do the best we can for them down there as well. You know. And we can only do all this with the support of all the big-hearted people around the world. You know, it's amazing. And some of the nice companies coming in, you know, DHL, the sock shop. There's one company after another company helping us now, sending us stuff, and that's great. It's fantastic. That's how it should be. You know, human beings helping human beings. We've had a few problems out here with religion on the coast, and we've explained, you know, everyone has the right to pray. Everyone has the right to pray. I don't, you know, and everyone has the right to preach. It's not a problem. But I've explained to the people that are coming out here, you know, this is not the time and it's not the place. You know, when people are frightened, you know, and they've been risking their lives for hours coming across sea, they got hypothermic and things like this. They're coming out of a war zone. And I've asked very nicely, most of the people coming out here, they're different religious groups trying to work these beaches, and I'm saying, please do not do this. This is wrong. You know, these people, they're frightened and everything else, you know, and they need to be, you know, one, we need to stabilize them and everything else. Two, we need to get them down to the camps and get them some food and give them some help. And I said, look, if you want to do it at the right place, not on these beaches. You know, these beaches, we're all out here trying to help. I mean, the volunteers are under stress, we're under stress, and we don't need a religious war out on these beaches between different religions. So I've said, you know, very politely to most of them, look, when they're down in the camps, in the bigger camps, down in Mytilene and Moria or Karatepe, you know, they're there for a few days and everything else, and they're relaxed, and then they can make a decision. You know, that's the place if you want to preach and pray to them. It's not a problem. But here, you know, there's too much going on out here, and the last thing we need is friction between religions. This is not about religions, you know, this is about human beings of all religions out here helping human beings of all religions. And that's what this is about, yeah. So, you know, we are very appreciative that there is a time and a place, and we're very appreciative if the people coming out here trying to preach, if they move down to the camps and do it in a more civilized way, and let us get these frightened people comfortable first. Yeah. So, okay, everyone, all the best. Bye.